Question for Nick, right over here. To your left, right.
Going to ask you why you weren't here yesterday and what happened and whose fault was it?
There you go. Thanks, Dana.
I know you, man.
Appreciate it.
I would have liked to make it.
Just one more question. You said you got in late on Tuesday night. Was it because of
Ariel?
Yeah.
He's here.
Okay,
He's here. He's here now.
All right.
You got any questions about the fight?
Obviously, it was a big story.
Yeah,
we
he's here.
spoke about it.
He's here now.
It's a part of the story.
I understand. What's part of what story?
Of this fight. A lot of people are interested in watching this press conference to see if Nick was going to show up because he wasn't there yesterday. So we would.
He's here today, and I guarantee you he'll be there tomorrow at the weigh-ins, and I guarantee you he will be there Saturday.
No one's doubting that, but just wanted to get the reason why.
You want to antagonize him. You want to aggravate him and get him pissed off.
That absolutely not.
It's totally the truth. That's why I knew what your question was right when I called it, right when you picked up the microphone. You never even ask questions first. You usually hang back and wait. Ooh, you had to get that first question. You knew what you wanted to
God
ask him.
forbid.
You want to piss him off and aggravate him. Would you have any questions about the fight?
Not right now.
Okay.
Okay, and Dana, just one for you. When you say that you're going to take care of Yoel Romero, what do you mean by that? Can you elaborate? What does that mean?
That's between me and Yoel Romero.
Well, there is.
Thanks for asking. That's between us.
No, I know, but there is the precedent with Carlos Condit and GSP where.
Is there? There's really not a precedent. There's different scenarios and different situations.
But
don't worry about what Yoel Romero's going to make. Me and Yoel will take care of that.
All right, fair enough. Thank you.
Who has the next question?
Question for Dana over here. Okay, Dana. I've heard you say, and I've heard Jeff Nowitzki say, I heard Andy Foster say that you guys are 100% sure that this is not a new ingestion, that he didn't re-ingest anything. How do you know that for sure? That's a question for Dana.
Oh, what's the question?
Sorry. I heard you and Jeff Nowitzki say, and Andy Foster said it as well, that you are 100% sure that this isn't as a result of a new ingestion. This is the same metabolite that was in his system back in July of 2017. The question I don't seem to find the answer to is, how do you know that?
Because that's what the experts are saying. The experts are telling us that's what they do. How else would I know? The experts are telling us.
And I don't expect you to know, but who are the experts?
Ask Nowitzki. Call Nowitzki and set up an appointment to have an interview with him. He'll tell you.
Ariel, I can help you with that.
You know, you probably can't, actually. You let Nowitzki answer that question for you.
I would love
Nowitzki's the expert on that. John Jones is calling it a pictogram, for Christ's sakes. Okay?
Unfortunately, he's not here.
I don't think he can answer that question. So talk to Nowitzki.
Okay. He's also said that there's 12 to 14 other cases of this happening.
Yeah, you got to talk to Nowitzki. If you want to talk drugs, talk to Nowitzki.
Hey, that kind of reminds me of someone that doesn't want to fight the schmo, but I'm not going to.
It's funny. I was like last December for charity. I want to do something, and I challenged your buddy, Ariel Helwani, for $25K to a charity grappling match. I'll find a way to find $25,000. I know ESPN would find $25,000, $50,000 on the line, charity grappling match. Crickets. No acknowledgement, no nothing. Right. But I didn't expect anything different.
But that's like calling out a girl. That's like calling a girl out to fight.
Yeah, well, it's my seat. It's the media. Come on.
Ariel Helwani is one of the weakest human beings on planet Earth. I mean, it's almost like you should be arrested for even calling him out.
But if you can't take the heat, stay out of the kitchen. If you're going to make a life on calling people out and stuff like that, the second adversity and someone spins it back to you, you got to be able to handle it, man.
Yeah, but listen, there was an issue one time with Ariel Helwani. Ariel is one of those guys that is an agitator, and he likes to push buttons, and he likes to do all that stuff in a sport where people don't like their buttons pushed and don't like to be agitated and whatever. My old security guard, I don't know what, he's super nice. He's a Hawaiian dude, really, really chill guy. He pushed Ariel one time backstage. And all hell broke loose. And I was like, "What, kid, what are you doing? You might as well go out and fucking pick on one of the girls that work out and fucking, it's literally the exact same thing. You can't do that. I mean, that's like, it's like, with all the bullying shit that's going on right now, I mean, He's that dude that gets the sand kicked in his face at the beach and, has to go work out with fucking Teddy Atlas or whatever the fucking guy's name was back then. Mr. Atlas or whatever his name was. Teddy Atlas, not Teddy Atlas. You know what I'm saying?
The ESPN boxing commentator. Yep.
Yeah, not him.
Not him.
You should probably work with him too. But yeah, you know what you got when you're dealing with Ariel.
Ariel Helwani was being very critical of the card going on with Greg and Rachel on the card. What are your thoughts? And
I don't give a shit what Ariel Helwani thinks.
Fair enough.
Who the fuck is Ariel Helwani to question anything that we do? I think we've done a pretty good job in 20 years. I could give a shit what he thinks or anybody else for that matter.
What is something that they'll say to you that you're like, oh, this guy has no idea what the fuck he's talking about?
I just think it's getting worse and worse.
Oh, really?
I think it's worse. I think it's, it's like with this whole Ariel Helwani thing. It's more about, what can I sneak and get out and steal from the fans? The excitement, enjoyment of the fans seeing it when it comes out instead of actually doing some real journalism. So, yeah.
Used to be because
it's not even about controlling the narrative. There's so much more to that thing than was represented. I know he threw a big pity party for himself and all that shit, but there was a lot more to it. A lot more people were involved in that thing, and it almost blew up a huge relationship that I wouldn't even get into publicly. Okay. That's why we just came out with a statement. I don't know. It was dirty. He knows it was dirty, and he threw a big pity party for himself, crying on camera and shit. It's fucking just ridiculous. So it is what it is. None of that shit's going to change. Ariel Helwani knows. I've done a lot of shit for Ariel Helwani. And it's just, whatever, man.
But you gave him at the end of the day, you gave him a pass at the end of the day, right? He took a little whipping, but is he back in decent graces?
Yeah. He got his credential back. I wouldn't say he's in decent graces. I don't even know he got his credential back, but it's just we built that promo. And a lot of people were quiet about it, and a lot of people, it was for the fans. That thing's for the fans, for that wow factor to be there and go, oh, wow, Brock's back. And the way that he did it, it had a lot of people pointing fingers at each other. You notice I wasn't out there putting the belt on Dominic Cruz. Then when I ran out to put the belt on Bisping, because I've been with Bisping for 10 years, he's such a great guy. My sleeves are rolled up. I got no jacket on because I'm dealing with the aftermath of the weasel move that he pulled, and people can call it journalism or whatever. We can have our differences of opinion on that, but he knows what he did. And he did it on purpose.
And what's funny,
he goes on fucking thing and he's crying and shit. And dude, your kids are going to see that for Christ's sakes.
Oh shit.
You know what I mean?
And you know what it is? I knew what kind of,
threw a big pity. What the bottom line is this, it was all about Ariel.
Yeah.
Journalism is supposed to be when you're a guy that covers the sport, it's about the sport. That what we did, that spot and everything, was for the fans. And a lot of good people worked hard to pull that thing off and to make that thing happen and to try to keep it a secret, including the WWE. And a lot of things were set in place. They graciously let us, have Brock Lesnar, and a lot of things were set in place for them that had to be done, and it left a lot of people pointing the finger at each other. Almost blew up a relationship and created a lot of bad blood behind the scenes. And he didn't care. It was all about him. And then even after it was over, it was all about him and his big world tour pity party that he threw for himself. Then he goes on crying on his show and shit.
Is that something that could have happened with you said journalist? Is that one of those things that, like, if he didn't do it, and I don't know anything about that behind the scenes stuff.
But nobody else does that. When you're a real journalist, you reach out and you say, hey, this is the rumor, this is going on and everything else, and I'm going to run with it. You know what I mean? That's what the real journalists do. He's a website guy. You know what I mean? It's just a totally different world now. There's still a lot of real journalists out there that before they do something, they reach out and show that respect and have that relationship. Whereas, he's not that guy. And a lot of people, support him and good for you and all that stuff. But a lot of people have turned on him too.